everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, where we are finally in a new place. We're downtown and yeah, this place is rather impressive, so at some point I really need to take some time to properly explore all of this. But I think for now I will follow up on, well, what I assume is kind of my main mission. So I'm supposed to find that ship that we heard about, that ghost ship. But before that, the prince wants me to talk to Rodriguez in the bar called The Last Round. And I've seen on the map that it's basically on the other side of town, so I will have to find my way there. And this quest might also be somewhere in the vicinity because it's across the street from a bar. Maybe the same one, I don't know. And while I'm on my way to the next destination, I should look out for this one as well, because this one is also downtown, as I just noticed. So obviously I couldn't find it in Santa Monica because it's here. So yeah, I need to look out for the mystical sun, which is rather vague. I mean, as it happens, there's actually a sun over here, but it's not very mystical, is it? And I mean, I checked out the entire apartment and there was nothing inside that appeared to be a regent. Also, it seems that this building isn't really high enough to include the, 6 floors and 6 apartments that actually are inside. It's bigger from the inside than it's from the outside. But okay, whatever. Yeah, let's have a quick look around, but I'm not seeing anything like a mystical sun around here. Let's have another look at the map. Yes, the last round is all the way on the other side of town. There's like a very small passage if I just continue straight forward. I guess I will try to take that one. It seems to be the easiest route. And yeah, I will, for example, check out the creepy church later. I'm guessing this is like the small back alley. Alright. I mean, this would be a useful place to drink some blood. Especially since I could use some at the moment. There we go. And there's more people in hazmat suits. I think I have to go in this direction. Right. Hellobrook Hotel. Got an opera. Still nothing that looks like a sun.
It's not my problem.
I hope I'm going in the right direction. I kind of lost my way here. No, I'm actually spot on. So I guess it should be over here. And there it is, the last round. Let's go inside. Alright, well, that's an interesting little bar. Can I talk to anyone here, like the barkeeper? Nope, apparently not. But what about the girl over here? Alright, I can talk to her.
Sabat chased you in here, Cammy?
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Why do you ask? What the fuck's your problem? Well, she's talking about the Sabat, so I guess she's a vampire? Yeah, I don't know, why do you ask?
Heard Nine saved your ass again. You think LaCroix would have stopped counting his money long enough to get your back, Jack?
Yeah, she's clearly a vampire. I mean, some vampires have more prominent fangs than others, but in her case, it's pretty obvious. What do you mean again? I could have handled that myself. What the fuck's your problem? Yeah, he did save me, but what do you mean by again?
Cammy, you'd have a whole lot less above your neck if it hadn't been for Nines calling the prince out in that courtroom. Shit.
Oh, okay.
Looks like things worked out for the Croy anyway. Got himself a new friend there.
Yeah, I remember now. There was like one guy who stood up for me, and that's when LaCroix changed his opinion and didn't execute me. I didn't realize that this was Nines, but I remember now. But yeah, why are you so hostile? Did I do something to piss you off?
As long as you're a tool for some cape, you don't have to say a word to start pissing me off.
What is a cape?
Cape, Cammy. Camarilla elders? The ones that have been around so long they think candlelight's a keen invention? You're doing their dirty work and you don't even know it.
Okay, so I guess they're called cape because of old vampire stereotypes, you know, like in the old movies, vampires wearing capes. I guess that makes sense. I like to play for the winning team. I make my own fate. What alternative do I have? Yeah, I mean, number 2 sounds like a cool thing to say, but it wouldn't really be true at the moment. I mean, in the end, Ori is working for the prince because she doesn't really have any other option. I mean, where is she supposed to go? She's a newly born vampire. Her sire is dead. She doesn't really understand how all this stuff works. So, as much as she would like to make her own fate, at the moment she isn't really in the position to do so.
You want an alternative? Being you. That's a step in the right direction. I'm Damsel, den mother of these mothers, and one pissed bitch since they floated.
Okay, pissed you don't say. Drink some bad blood or something. I don't know about LaCroix. I'm cool with Nines though. Well, I mean, I barely know that guy. I met him once, like a few hours ago. But so far, at least I have no reason to not like him, because he saved me twice apparently. So, yeah, for now I'm cool with him.
Hey, Cammy. I don't apologize often, but it's just with all the shit that's been going down lately. And on top of it, this plague bearer getting the CDC's attention, maybe I misjudged you is all I'm saying.
Plague bearer? Understandable. Please tell me what a plague bearer is. Yeah, please tell me more about that.
A plague bearer's a fool that doesn't care who they feed from. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. We can't get sick, but the kind can. And kindred that feed on them start spreading disease. Enough get sick, it's an epidemic. CDC's in town as we speak.
Okay, is that the reason why I saw all these people in hazmat suits? Because there's an epidemic going around, and vampires are responsible for it. So basically, a plague bearer is like a vampire with some kind of disease, and the vampire spreads it to humans. I'm guessing kine are humans. And the humans get sick, and they might infect other humans and maybe other vampires as well. And while it's not a problem for the vampires per se, because they don't get sick, if too many humans get sick, you know, it draws too much attention towards, you know, the spreader, like the vampire who's spreading it, and that's why it's a problem. I see. So basically a plague bearer is some kind of asymptomatic super spreader, right? So how do you get rid of one? Sounds like an Anarch problem. Good luck with that, excuse me. I mean, it might be my problem as well if I drink like the blood of some sick human. So how do you get rid of a plague bearer?
Seen old Yeller? May sound cruel, but it's necessary. If someone puts together 2 and 2 as to the real cause of an outbreak of bloodborne diseases, guess what happens? So the plague bearer's gotta be found and put down. If the Camarilla really gives a damn, they'll help us out. Okay, so basically you just find and kill the vampire that's spreading the disease. I see. The Anarchs helped me out before. Where do I start? I'll do it, but only because I'm bored. I mean, it's not that I don't have other stuff on my plate at the moment. The Anarchs make a mess. I suppose I have to clean it up. I'll think about doing it. I have another question first. Yeah, let's ask a few questions first before I decide
what to do about this.
Yeah?
Tell me about Nines, your thoughts on LaCroix, tell me about Smiling Jack, tell me about the Anarchs. Okay, I will try to ask all of it. Tell me about Nines.
No one like him in this world or the next. He's to the Anarchs what George Washington was to the colonies, and Ho Chi Minh was to Vietnam. He is the LA Anarchs personified. He's a great leader, and yet he's criminal. I died.
Well, you really seem to idolize this guy. I owe him my life, seems like one of the only decent people I've met yet. What crap, he's an elevated street thug, gang leader. I mean, again, I don't really know this guy. I've only met him like a few hours ago. And I feel that there are other options between these two possibilities, you know. But, you know, at the time, I don't really have any reason to oppose him. So for now, he's okay in my book, I suppose.
No one like him in the Camarilla or otherwise. Anything else?
Maybe you are a little bit too focused on this guy. It seems very un-anarch, you know? But yeah, tell me about LaCroix.
Who the hell does he think he is, coming into town claiming Camarilla authority over the city? We kicked them out 60 years ago. It's like England coming back and telling the U.S. how they should do things. Fuck LaCroix.
Okay, you have apparently very strong opinions about him. I had no idea the Anarchs had been in control that long. I had another question. You scared the Camarilla might siphon off more of your members? Not a fan, huh? I'll see you later. Yeah, I'm sure I have more questions.
Yeah?
Okay, but apparently not about the Anarchs. Also, I wonder if this lady is a Bruja. That's kind of how I imagine Brujas to be. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't pick Bruja as my clan, because it's gotta be exhausting to be that angry all the time. But yeah, tell me about Smiling Jack.
Jack? Jack's Jack. Kind of a legend amongst Anarchs. There's not an Anarch in the world who wouldn't stand in rock star awe of Jack. Even the Camarilla doesn't mess with him.
Okay. Really? I had no idea. Jack's one of the cooler people I've met. That old bum, you're kidding, right? Interesting, I've gotta go. Oh, is it the guy from the tutorial, right? His name was Jack. I didn't realize he was called Smiling Jack, but I think he was called Jack, so I suppose that's who he is talking about. Yeah, I like Jack. Jack's fine with me.
He's been around a long time. He used to be a pirate, so the rumor goes. Talk to Jack. He's never short on chat.
Alright, I will. I like Jack. But I have more questions for you first.
Yeah?
I did ask about the Anarchs. Give me your thoughts on the Camarilla. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be another angry rant.
It's a sham, a pyramid scheme. Nothing but musty, withdrawn elders waging power struggles for no other reason than to keep their own ass alive for one more century. You think you have any real power in the can? You're kidding yourself.
I really don't understand it myself. I'm kind of new to this. I guess when the alternative is you or the Sabbat, I'll take the Camarilla. Yeah, the problem with a lot of these dialogue choices is they kind of assume that you have some more or less intimate knowledge of the different factions, but Ori is new to this. She doesn't know anything about the Anarchs. She only heard like very recently that they exist, so she hasn't formed an opinion about them so far. So yeah, I'm really, really new to this. I'm sorry.
You'd be better off without them. You'll see.
Okay. I think I did ask everything now, but let's try this anyway. Okay, that's it. And I've learned that it's always a good idea to talk to people at least twice, so let's talk to her again. Okay, here we go. I've decided to go after the plague bearer. How do I find him? Yeah, sure. Let's take this task. Why not?
One of our boys' ghouls, name's Paul, lives nearby in the Skyline Apartments. Been a stranger lately. Looked like death last time he was here. Said he didn't get bit, but maybe you can get more info out of him.
Well, I've literally just been to the Skyline Apartment and all of its rooms, and I didn't see him, but I guess I will go back and check it out again. I'll go check it out. Ghouls. Why is it always ghouls? Fine, I'll check it out when I can. I don't have a problem with ghouls, so I don't care. Hope this guy's up front. Be a shame if I had to beat it out of him. I'm off. Yeah, I will check it out.
Wait, if Paul's not talking, you might want to start questioning the homeless pot. So many have been dying lately that it takes the city a few days to pick up the bodies.
Okay, that's a good hint, I suppose. I'll ask around right now. Bye, Damsel. Sounds like a bag of laughs. Maybe I'll get to it later. Before I go, I have a question. Do I?
Yeah?
Okay, but it's still just the same again. In that case, never mind. Alright, I guess we're done talking to her. And yep, I have a new quest. Fun with pestilence. Damsel has set you on the trail of the plague bearer, the kindred responsible for the outbreak of the LA epidemic. She has suggested going to speak with the ghoul Powell at the Skyline Apartments or talking to some of the bums around the city. There's a lot of them, so I guess I will try my luck with Paul first. But yeah, let's look around more. Can I go upstairs? Yes, I can.
Well, if it ain't the talk of the town, poster child for Camarilla benevolence. What does the prince have his little bitch doing today?
Whoa, you are kind of rude. I mean, to be fair, she was wearing a shirt that said bitch before she changed into the new clothing, but you know, I am allowed to call myself a bitch, but you are not. Anyway, funny, is Nines Rodriguez around here? If you don't get out of my face, Anarch, I'm going to rip yours off. Whatever, you're not even worth a snappy comeback later. Well, I may want to talk to him, but if you are being rude to me, I will be rude in return.
You trying to start a brawl so the Camarilla sheriff can come in and clean house? I don't think so. Ask the prince to show you the last punk who tried that trick. And while you're on the subject, tell him I want that ashtray back.
The ashtray. That sounds like an interesting story. I invite you to try it on me. But okay, I have a few options here. What's your name? Who are you? The Anarch Welcoming Committee? Apparently. Look, I don't want any trouble. I need to Nines Rodriguez. Whatever I need is Nines. So, yeah. Who exactly are you?
I'm Skelter. I do my part to keep California a free state for the Anarchs.
A free state for the Anarchs. I need to speak with Nines. What is it you hate about the Camarilla so much? I might regret asking this, but I will do it anyway.
The Camarilla just ain't necessary. Their rules is just common sense shit. The Masquerade and all that. Sure, it makes sense. Like the 10 Commandments. You know the 10 Commandments, don't you?
Yeah, if you're talking about like the biblical 10 Commandments, sure.
Yeah, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Sounds good, but you and me both know that shit don't always fly. What if some society like the Camarilla comes along and just up and kills you if you break one damn commandment?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what rules are for. I mean, if no one enforces them, then they're kind of pointless. But apparently he seems to think that since it's common sense, you don't really need specific rules for it. So I suppose that's his standpoint. I see your point. Law and order is every kindred's friend. I've got a few more questions. You mean like though short not bore your audience? Yeah. I mean, I kind of like these snappy options here, but they all mean that I'm going to end the conversation, and I kind of want to continue and maybe get more information. Yeah, I think I have more questions for you.
Yeah?
I don't understand this kindred shit at all. That's actually very true. I wanted to ask you about someone. Yeah, let's maybe start with the first one.
You've got to understand, Kindred. You're carrying a 6,000-year curse in your blood, no matter how powerful it makes you feel.
A curse, you say? I don't know, it feels pretty good to me. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this, so far anyway.
That blood is a tangle of chains that's going to leave you bound in servitude the rest of your existence.
Well, aren't you a bag of sunshine? Yeah, why do you say that?
Your elders command the blood. They control the blood, and the blood listens. You'll never even hear their call. but the blood will, and it'll make you obey.
What does that even mean? How can you break free? Sounds like vampire superstition to me. Oh, great. Can I ask you a few more questions? Tell me more about this. So if this bond exists, how do you break free?
That shit stretches all the way back to Cain. Nothing you can do. Some ancient sleeping in a tomb half a world away has a bad dream, and you gon' feel that shit. Like it or not.
Who's Cain? Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of Cain in this game already. So clearly, we're talking about the biblical Cain here, right?
Cain, man. Father of all vampires. Killed his brother Abel and was cursed by God to walk eternity feeding on the blood of his children. Some heavy shit, sister.
Heavy shit indeed. You don't really believe that, do you? You mean Cain from the Bible? Really? Is that true? Oh, that's a good one. So heavy that it's bringing me down. Yeah, I guess we're talking about the Cain from the Bible, because I've seen, these depictions of Cain killing Abel all the time.
Keep your voice down. Is Cain real? I don't know. Not sure I want to know.
So you can't talk about him because, I don't know, it brings bad luck or whatever? I hear you, but where are you going with this? You can get to the point anytime you feel like it. Yes, please.
The point is, with this curse pulling your strings, you really want to sign away your right to fight by joining the Camarilla?
I don't know. I'm a very freshly born vampire. I barely understand what different factions exist, and you already asked me to take a side in your faction war. But you agree with the Masquerade? Think about it. I've got a few more questions. Yeah, what is your opinion on the Masquerade?
I don't need to bare my fangs to feel good about myself. The Masquerade is a fruity Camarilla label. Other than that, I ain't got no problem with it. Live and let live. We got enough to worry about.
Okay, I guess so.
Speaking of the Masquerade, I just thought of something you might be able to help us out with.
Well, tell me about it.
There's this girl who's been making a lot of noise lately. It's a real pain in the ass. She's a ghoul of this one Toreador creep who disappeared.
Okay, what's her name?
Her name is Pat. She hangs out in the clubs downtown. She used to show up around here and act like she was everybody's best friend. It was all fun and games until her vampire sugar daddy stopped calling. Now she can't get her blood fixed and shit ain't so fun no more.
Okay, and why is that a problem? Why don't you just tell her he doesn't want to see her anymore? Doesn't she understand he's gone? What do you want me to do about it? Yeah, I guess they've tried that already, but why doesn't it work?
Man, she's been told he was dead. She don't listen. Just ask again louder. Junkie. She's gonna make a scene and get us all some real heat.
I see. What kind of heat are you talking about? Sounds like you guys have a problem. Yeah, what exactly is the problem?
Vampire hunters, man. You start doing stupid shit and breaking the Masquerade and you'll see what I'm talking about. Trust me, hunters are the kind of trouble you don't want.
Okay, so she's basically telling everyone that vampires exist and that might get the attention of vampire hunters. Interesting. So what exactly do you want me to do in this regard?
She's crossed the line. Only time that mouth ain't blabbing is when it's sucking vampire blood. She's gotta disappear. Do this, and we'll keep it our little secret, you hear?
Okay. I'll do it to uphold the Masquerade. Anything for my Anarch brethren. Come on, I just met these guys. It's a little bit fast to call them my brethren. Sorry, not messing. I don't clean up Anarch messes. I mean, I find it interesting that on the one hand he's like, oh, the Masquerade is just some stupid thing the Camarilla made up. But then he also kind of agrees with it, and now he even wants me to kill this ghoul to uphold the Masquerade. I mean, and I can't help but notice that on the one hand he kind of looks down on me because I'm running stupid errands for the Camarilla, but the first thing he does as I walk in here is give me a stupid errand to run for them. Yeah, I don't know. And it's also kind of interesting that apparently this, I don't know, these Anarch ideals of justice and whatnot do not extend to ghouls. Which I guess I kind of get. They're humans, right? So for vampires, they're basically food. But you would think that creating a ghoul already is kind of a violation of the Masquerade because you're telling a human that vampires exist. Usually, I suppose. I mean, Ori kind of created a ghoul and then tried to keep it secret. But the other ghoul that I met, like Mercurio and Nox, they all knew about vampires. So wouldn't that be a violation of the Masquerade? I don't know how the rules are in this regard. But seeing how common ghouls are, I guess that's just fine. Because maybe it's just too convenient to have, you know, this, I don't know, race of servants that can be disposed if you don't need them anymore. And apparently in that regard, the Anarchs are not any different from the Camarilla. You know, they create these ghouls, and if they don't need them anymore, they just go and kill them. You know, I feel that Ori does agree with at least some of, you know, the points the Anarchs are making, but you can kind of feel the wave of double standards emanating, especially from this guy. So, I'm not entirely sure about this so far. But okay, I guess I'll take the quest and then I'll see what I'll do with it. If I don't want to go through with it, I can just, you know, leave it open. Yeah, I guess I'll do it to uphold the Masquerade.
All right, have fun. I'd love to do this one myself, but I know it's silent. Just let me know when it's done.
So why can't you do it because you know her sire? I don't know. Alright, but I've got a few questions before I go. Yes, I might have.
Yeah?
I wanted to ask you about someone.
Yeah? Who do you want to know about?
Kane, Damsel, Jack. Yeah, I can see him standing around to the left. Yeah, tell me more about Kane.
Kane, man. Father of all vampires. Killed his brother Abel and was cursed by God to walk eternity feeding on the blood of his children. Some heavy shit, sister.
Yeah, you already told me that. So heavy that it's bringing me down. But I had more questions. Can I please talk to you again?
Yeah?
Let's see.
Yeah? Who do you want to know about?
Okay, tell me about Damsel.
You mean college girl over there? To be honest, she reminds me of those miserable stateside protester fucks from when I was in Nam. But she's on the right side of this one. Don't let the hippie vibe fool you.
Okay, fair enough. But I have more questions.
Yeah? Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Jack.
That's the man there. One righteous kindred. I wish he'd take a more active stance in our fight, but fuck, man, he's Jack. Jack just does his thing. God help anyone who gets in the way.
Honestly, he sounds more Anarch to me than, you know, the other people I've talked to so far. Okay, do I have any other questions?
Yeah? Yeah? Who do you want to know about?
Apparently not. So...
Yeah?
I am out of here. Okay, well, that was an interesting discussion. And yeah, there's another quest, Attention Whore. Skelter wants you to make Patty disappear. She's a ghoul who has been bugging everyone about her master and won't believe them when they tell her he's dead. So is he actually dead? I think not, right? He just, you know, got tired of her. Not only is she getting tiresome, Skelter is concerned about the implications for the Masquerade if she keeps shooting her mouth off. She can usually be found whining at the club Confession to anyone unfortunate enough to talk to her. Oh, the church is actually a club, that's why it looks so weird. It's not a church, it's like a bar or whatever. Okay, interesting. Okay, we got names over here, but honestly, I think I would prefer to talk to, Jack.
Well, looky who made it back in one piece. Out in Santa Monica, kiddo.
Well, I didn't get to do much sightseeing, that's true.
I can't imagine you did. I'll be too busy getting pushed around by every vampire with the weakest seniority over you.
Oh, you
have
no idea. Yeah, you could say that.
That's usually the way the story goes. Same old bullshit politics from when you were alive, huh? Don't it make you just want to rip somebody's spine out? What? You saying that's just me?
Politics, I ran into Nines. LaCroix is sending me to the Elizabeth Dane. Yeah, I would like to ask about that, but let's maybe ask about the politics first.
Politics. The stuff that makes the rich get richer, keeps the powerful in power. Look at why you're out in Santa Monica in the first place. 'Cause Prince LaCroix said so.
I understand. So you don't follow the rules, alright, but why me? That's a good question too. Maybe because I was just available. Maybe it was because he had faith in me, I knew I could do the job. I kinda doubt that.
'Cause he never thought you'd make it back.
Okay.
If Nines didn't stand up for you in the courtroom, you would have been toast right there, man. Everybody knows that.
So I was disposable. That makes sense. How did Nines make a difference? I don't get it. Why did he want to kill me? I don't know. Apparently that's kind of a rule. But apparently not a rule that's strict enough that you have to go through with it. But yeah, how exactly did Nines make a difference?
Public relations, man. Calculated risk. Events were born in a boardroom. When Nines called him out, LaCroix realized it was time to show a carefully measured dose of Camarilla compassion.
Okay, so it was just some PR stunt. You're not into public relations, Jack. Is LaCroix afraid of Nines? I thought he was the boss. Yeah, I thought so.
LaCroix is the boss of the Camarilla in L.A. That's it. LaCroix is the boss. That's rich.
Okay, so who is the boss? You're not part of the Camarilla, you don't follow Camarilla law. Yeah, I think he's got that Napoleon thing going on. I'd say he's in charge of things. So you do not follow Camarilla law?
Kid, I never answered to no man in life. Now I sure as shit ain't taking orders from a vampire with a suit and a funny name. And when I die again, the devil's gonna have to cut me a deal if he wants my ass. Besides, I never trust anybody with an X in it.
That is a very interesting requirement. I mean, it's not a very large group of people that have an X in their name, I'm pretty sure, but it's very, very peculiar. I think LaCroix got little man syndrome. Yeah, that is potentially true.
The facts are like this. The Camarilla need us to buy into their bullshit for any of their laws to mean dick. Now, telling free-living vampires they need to be ruled is a hard sell. So, the Camarilla baked up a play-nicey plan. Show everyone how great they are, so we'll all just jump on board.
Okay, who is everyone? It's not working. I ran into Nines. I wanted to ask some questions. So, you say it's not working.
Kid, we've lived in California, some of us for over 100 years, and we've kicked the Camarilla's ass out of town before. Seems like every time they smell blood, they're back trying to take over.
Yeah, Damsel kind of mentioned that. And who is we? The Anarchs, I suppose?
The free living dead, kiddo. A lot of people like to use the label Anarchs. Whatever the hell that means. Those got a nice tickle, though, huh?
I suppose so. If it's not just a label. Yeah, tell me more about the Anarchs.
That's us, so I'm told. What do you want to know?
How long has the Anarch movement existed? Who is your leader? Nines, I've got a few more questions, yes. How long has this movement existed?
Yeah, I could tell you about the history of the movement, about our struggle. What's any of that shit mean, anyway? Do we want to sit through history class here?
I do like his attitude about this. He doesn't give a shit about any of this. Like I said, I feel so far he's the most Anarch of the Anarchs that I've met. It's good to know your history. What's it all about then? Yeah, what it's all about?
I'm no scholar, kid, but I've been around. Seen more and done more than most vampires ever will. I don't know that our situation's ever gonna be easy, but some things you gotta decide are worth fighting for.
Okay, fair enough. I can I can sympathize with that. How can you win though? Does 9 feel the same way? Yeah, how would you try to win this?
Fight harder than the other son of a bitch. Every time I yank a jawbone from a skull and ram it in an eye socket, I know I'm building a better future.
Okay, that makes sense. So, does 9 share your vision?
You bet, kid.
And I guess he's in charge here? How come you're not running the show? Honestly, I feel he's not interested in that kind of stuff.
As much as anyone is. 9's is a stand-up guy. Takes the politics a little too seriously, though. Came up during the Great Depression, so his brain's wired to that shit.
Okay, if you're willing to vouch for him, I will give him a fair chance. What about the rest of 9's crew? You seem to know a lot about politics yourself, so you're not the chief around here. Yeah, what about the rest of the people here?
Yeah, I'm not sure the story on most of them. 9's crew.
What clan are you? What clan is 9's? I've got a few more questions. Yeah, that would be an interesting question. What clan are you?
Bruja. Huh. Most everyone here has Bruja.
I kinda figured that. That makes sense. But I like you better than the other Bruja I met so far.
Moving right along.
Tell me about the Camarilla, tell me about the Anarchs, tell me about the Sabbat. Okay, let's ask about the Camarilla, maybe.
Oh, my favorite topic.
What do you think of Camarilla ideals? Tell me about Prince Lacroix. I mean, we kind of talked about Lacroix already, so let's ask about the ideals.
Don't think that Camarilla has a monopoly on those ideals, okay, kid? No one is arguing over that shit, and if they tell you that's what this fight is all about, then they're really giving you the full fist. You hear me?
Okay. So, what exactly is the fight about? Just how you enforce these ideals? I wouldn't surprise me if they were. I wouldn't expect an Anarch to understand it. So, what is it all about?
The Camarilla protects the people running the Camarilla. That's it, the end. The rest of them are bloody gristle for the machine.
Okay, well, I guess that makes kind of sense. See, you're much better at explaining all of this to me than the other guys so far. Who runs the whole thing? Is Lacroix one of the big boys? Well, apparently he's not, according to what we heard earlier.
Not one of the bigs, but he ain't out risking his ass in the street, that's for sure. LaCroix has ambitions of joining that inner circle. Delivering Los Angeles in their pocket would look killer on a resume.
Okay, the Camarilla does good things too. Maybe that outweighs the bad stuff. Again, can't really judge that at the moment. Public servants are always underappreciated. Yeah, he definitely wants the corner office. I suppose that might be true.
The hell with LaCroix. I blasted better vampires' brains all over the wall. He's not the prince, he's a prince.
Okay, that's actually pretty good to know. As a matter of fact, I would argue that makes him even more dangerous because he's ambitious and he wants to climb higher in the hierarchy. So he's probably willing to do a lot for that. You've dealt with princes like him in the past. You don't get to be a prince unless you know what you're doing. He can't be totally worthless. Probably not. But yeah, tell me more about other princes, maybe.
He's a typical Ventru asshole. Predictable, safe, no imagination. Man, the guy's a pussy. He just got lucky he showed up in L.A. at the right time.
Okay, I understand. He's just stupid and lucky. What do you know about the sheriff? I've got a few more questions. Yeah, tell me about the sheriff.
Oh, the sheriff, yeah. I love how everyone's talking about that big mystery. It's like someone embraced a doped-up gorilla.
So you don't really know much about him either.
What else did you need some truth about?
Tell me about the Sabbat.
Again? Does everything have to be about these dickheads?
I hope not.
The Sabbat are worthless, man. Fake tits on a zombie worthless. Fun to watch, though. Like the Three Stooges with chainsaws.
Okay, but they're also anti-Camarilla, right?
Yeah, they oppose the Camarilla, but they suck when it comes to execution.
So you don't like them either, even though they have like the same enemy. What exactly is wrong with them?
The Sabbat are in the same business as the Camarilla. Sabbat have a little longer chain, but they're slaves all the same.
Okay. Well, I think I may have more questions.
Moving right along.
I'm guessing the question about the Anarchs is just the same that we already had.
That's us, so I'm told. What do you want to know?
Yeah, I asked that already.
As much as anyone is. Nines is a stand-up guy. Takes the politics a little too seriously, though.
Just the same dialogue
Came up during the Great
again.
Depression, so his brain's wired to that shit.
But I may have more questions.
Moving right along.
Let's see.
What's on your mind?
Actually, I don't have any more questions. One more thing. I'm out of here. Tell me about humans.
What about them?
What do you think of them? Don't they sometimes get in the way? Yeah, what do you think of them?
What do I think of humans? I don't, really. When you were alive, did you think about cows? You know, if one got killed, I bet you didn't cry, but, you know, you're not out there slaughtering them for sport.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. But they get caught in the crossfire sometimes, I guess so?
Ah, man, we got our own problems. Let the kin sink or swim.
Alright, fair enough.
Moving right along.
Okay, I asked all of that.
What's on your mind?
What happens if I ask number 2?
What's up? Sure thing, kiddo. Fire away.
I'm just moving in circles here. But I mean, I had like a question about the Elizabeth Dane.
What's on your mind?
Maybe I have to quit out of the conversation and ask
so
again.
I heard you and Nines had a run-in with the Sabbat, huh? And you let them go. Nines must be getting soft. How could you pass up that kind of fun?
Well, I don't know. How come he keeps helping me? That's a good question.
Well, he was left sireless, too. I don't know, maybe that's it. Well, he's got a thing for the little guy.
I see. Well, that's not too bad, I suppose. Is Nines the leader of the Anarchs? Yeah, and maybe he's got his own agenda like everyone else. Maybe?
You're free to choose who you trust, kiddo.
Yeah, I would like to think so.
Sure thing, kiddo. Fire away.
Well, apparently I can't get that question about the Elizabeth Dane anymore.
What's on your mind?
So...
Hey, what's the word on the street?
Let's try this one more time. Okay, here we go. The prince is sending me to check out the Elizabeth Dane.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? You sound intrigued. Yes, really. You got a problem with that?
The sarcophagus. Did LaCroix tell you about the Ankaran sarcophagus?
I mean, he mentioned the sarcophagus. He didn't really tell me much about it. No, but I don't really trust him to tell me the truth anyway. That's true.
Yeah, well, maybe I should fill you in on the details. That sarcophagus is bad news. Kindred around the globe have been going batshit since it was discovered.
Okay, but why?
The word is there's an ancient asleep in there. One of the fathers, one of the vampires, that if you trace your lineage way back, there's a chance it'd end up with him at the root.
And he was asleep the whole time?
Ancients don't just nap. They sleep whole ages away. And when they wake up, they're hungry.
So he'll wake up and go hunting. What, you afraid of the boogeyman, Jack? Kinda sounds like it.
It's more than that, you know. Most kindred think it's one of the signs of the end, the apocalypse. Every religion has their own version of it. Kindred call it Gehenna. And the way they tell it, it starts when the ancients rise to devour their children.
Well, that's charming. Is this for real? You don't really believe this stuff, do you? I don't have time for this bullshit. Yeah, do you actually believe that?
Well, kiddo, I guess you're gonna be the one to find out.
Yeah.
Good luck. Try not to wake Grandpa Munster and kill the world, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm not supposed to open the sarcophagus, so as long as I keep the lid closed, maybe I can prevent the end of the world. Okay, so do I have any other questions, or am I finally done here?
Sure thing, kiddo. Fire away.
Okay, now we're back to this.
What's on your mind?
I'm pretty sure I have completely exhausted all the dialogue options now. Okay, well, these were a few very long conversations, and I haven't even had the time to talk to Nines himself. So I'm going to make a cut here. This was a very exposition-rich episode, and in the next episode we will talk to Nines and then maybe tackle one of the new quests that we got from the people in here. But for now, let's call it a day. As always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.